Times are tough out there, and if your credit has taken a hit, it's important to know that there are things you can do to repair it. Oh, thank goodness for Chuck Cedarstrom from Finance One. Chuck.
You're too kind.
Well, it's the truth.
Good afternoon, by the way.
Good afternoon. Now, you have your credits, and then it goes to cock-a-poo-poo, and you say, what do I do?
Well, you know, Courtney, these rates are still low. We've still got a lot of people taking advantage of these low rates for purchase and refi, and it's such a heartbreaker when everything else works except for that credit report.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked in the past about credit repair and credit restoration and things of that nature, and we've said that there are some of these companies that, you know, maybe are a little lesser than, and bottom line is all they do is send out dispute letters. Now, this is something a consumer can do for free. What I'd like to talk again about today a little bit is a credit restoration firm.
Okay.
I've got an association with a company called National Credit Associates. They're referred to as the National Credit Law Organization. Now, this is a company that's been around for years, and the bottom line is there is help available for those that need some restoration to their credit. Now, bottom line is there is a fee involved in this process, but they are the only 100% legal credit restoration firm in the United States. They're associated with a number of very large major corporations in the effort of credit restoration. As a national credit law organization, they're able to guarantee that they will be able to perform, in other words, restore credit with a $10,000 guarantee. Now, that's unheard of. In other words, if they cannot help the client, they will pay them $10,000.
Okay.
It's just that simple. So they put their money where their mouth is.
Nice guarantee.
It's a nice guarantee. Now, over the years, they have had 0 lawsuits and 0 complaints. Now, that's pretty unusual in any business, let alone one that is dealing with legal issues and credit reports and things of that nature. Now, as I said, Courtney, there's a lot of companies out there that talk about credit repair. They don't claim to be a credit repair company. It's a legal credit restoration process.
Okay.
They're able to accomplish this because their founder was an 18-year veteran with one of the major credit reporting firms. And there are, in fact, secrets and unknown information that not everybody has access to. These folks do. They make a huge difference in being able to restore an individual's credit. And unlike, like I said, many of these credit repair companies, as we call them, all those companies do is send out these dispute letters. National Credit Associates does way more than that.
Okay.
Now, we can talk a little bit about the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the fact that the Fair Credit Reporting Act allows for the use of this dispute process to remove inaccurate information. They're going to use that basic process, but then take it a few steps farther than that and be able to utilize things and secrets, I guess would be the best way to put it, that no other company is able to do. Now, a lot of these credit restoration or repair companies will charge a monthly fee. I ask you a question. If I'm charging you a monthly fee, do I have an incentive to quickly get this done for you?
Well, I'm thinking you're going to drag that out.
I might drag that out. National Credit Associates charges a flat fee, and they permanently remove, or I should say restore, the credit permanently. There's a number of these restoration or repair processes where it's only a temporary thing, 30, 60 days, and all of a sudden some of the ugly stuff starts coming back on. This is a permanent process.
That sounds like a great company.
It's a great process. It's a way for those individuals that are out there today taking a look at these ultra low rates. And let's finish up talking about that.
All right.
Ultra low rates for purchase and refinance, Courtney. You've got a good job. You've got a desire to purchase a house, for example. You've got a couple of bucks in the bank, and after all, some of these transactions don't take much cash, and only to find out that the thing that's going to stop you is this credit report. I tell you, it's one of the most heartbreaking things I deal with on any given day basis. So I'm trying more and more and more to help individuals connect with legitimate, legal, and properly run entities that actually make a difference in improving these an individual's credit picture. Now, there's some other things we can do. And if I can get an individual to talk to me, and all of this is the first consultations, the initial sit-downs are free. Call me at 502-6501, and we'll talk about some other things that can be done in order to create a proper credit report. As we've talked in the past, Courtney, some of this is just time.
Right.
There are some very simple things an individual can do to build a proper credit report. So,
I have a question for you.
Please ask it.
In this day and age, in this market, your credit rating's got to be a little bit higher than maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
You know, your wisdom never ceases to amaze me. You are exactly right. And that is the entire point, and thank you for reminding me of that. Today, we've talked about the tightening credit standards.
Yeah.
Simply put, what that means is, yes, most lenders are looking for a little bit better credit picture. As a result, we're seeing more and more folks slip through the cracks with regards to being able to get these transactions done. So even if you have relatively decent credit, it may be necessary to go through a process in order to make it better, in order to comply with today's lending requirements.
Because even one little late payment can really take that down, and you've got to look at that credit report and make sure, geez, I could get that handled. It might take a little bit of time, like you said.
And maybe a couple of bucks. But you're exactly right. Now, I won't go so far to say one late payment, but what is being focused on more and more today are these credit scores.
The
FICO scores, that number. And you're right, there are little tiny things that can cause that to go down and cause a problem.